Welcome all of our adoring fans. This is Exit Theater Left.
Not right, but left.
We rewatched Shrek.
Somebody once told me.
And spoiler alert, it is a fine wine of a tale.
A lot of people will talk about Shrek and they say, there's things for kids and there's things that are for adults. And this, definitively, I am now in the adult category.
Absolutely.
Bachelorette number 2 is a cape-wearing girl from the land of fancy. Although she lives with 7 other men, she's not easy.
Oh, no. Dead broad off the table!
Where are we supposed to put it?
So, that must be Lord Farquaad's castle.
That's the place.
Do you think maybe he's compensating for something?
That almost makes it more surprising, the fact that, you're talking 2001 and they put that humor out there.
Oh, yeah. Two styles that came out to me were the animation being ahead of its time. Definitely felt like a lot of the humor of this movie was like very 2000s Mike Myers, like a little bit of Austin Powers in there,
Right.
maybe,
Right.
So
Well, I think the funny thing too is how much the community has taken Shrek, and with all of our memes and the products and the sequels. Honestly, Shrek is not completely tapped.
Yeah.
There's so many more scenes that could be used in memes.
Wake up!
What?
if you are a meme creator in 2020,
Shrek, the
Shrek.
original, is back with
Yeah.
vengeance.
it never died. it is still alive.
So, the plan for today, I have a pack of cards here. Each card has a different category that we're going to rate Shrek on. We're going to choose 3 cards for today. Essentially, we're going to score the film each twice.
Yes.
So, one is going to be what would we rate it now, all things considered, and the other is how we're going to rate them on these 3 criteria, which we'll talk further about.
Theme and message. If I was a film professor of a college, I'm going to start off 8 out of 10, and I'm going to justify it.
Okay.
We'll start with the cons. So it suffers some of the classic fairy
The
tale.
message. Cons.
It suffers some of the classic fairy tale 2 days total, I think, and they're in love and they marry. It's not groundbreaking on some levels, but in others it is.
To the
Yes,
kids,
yes.
screw the kids. It's not about the kids at all. This is for the professor eyes.
Oh yes.
No.
I am now a film professor, a doctor, if you will. Where was I going with any of that?
Message of the
yes,
film.
message of film.
What do you think
This
the
is where we're
theme
going.
and message of the
When they first meet, Donkey isn't like outright afraid of Shrek.
I'm an ogre! You know, grab your torch and pitchforks! Doesn't that bother you?
Nope.
Really?
Seeing him as more than just his outward appearance.
I'm gonna take a side note because I've been thinking about this the whole time. There's this beautiful moment where Donkey's like, "Well, what's your name?" and Shrek's like, "Oh, it's my name is Shrek."
What's your name?
Shrek.
Shrek.
There's no return, which begs me the question: since Donkey is referred to as Donkey for the rest of the film, does Donkey actually have a name? Just like never got his true name. It's
Look,
just like Donkey.
that is between him and his love dragon to decide.
It's a very much fairy tale. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, and they say it like 5 times. It's like,
Yes, it's the
ogres
kids
have
aren't
layers.
bright.
Yeah,
Professors like us can pick it up.
I would say one of the core themes of Shrek and the message: don't judge people by their cover, and people have a multitude of what makes them who they are, not just like one defining characteristic.
Layers, relationships. I think my favorite understated relationship in the film, Shrek becomes like the god of the fairy tales.
I'm gonna see this guy Farquaad right now and get you all off my land and back where you came from!
Okay, yeah.
He's like
yeah,
in a
that
swamp and they're
is-
like cheering him on, and he's the champion of both Farquaad's kingdom and the fairy tale. He's like the avatar. He's bringing both
Yep.
worlds together.
Water, earth, fire, air.
Maybe you could even say there's a relationship between Farquaad and himself, in a way. Cycling back a little bit to things you notice as an adult when you watch this movie, things you notice as a kid. Yikes. It's a hard yikes on Farquaad just chilling in his bed.
Mirror, mirror, show her to me. Show me the princess. Perfect.
Magic mirrors were the first cinder, let me tell you. That was where it was at. Music!
Music!
2 of clubs of music. Woo!
When I think of Shrek, there's 3 songs that come to mind. All Star, really pounded it up with the memes. The middle, Hallelujah, and then the end, When I Saw Her Face, and those are like the 3 jams. But the soundtrack for there's like 8 or 9 fire tracks for the film, which is kind of weird now for an animated film to have so many pop songs in it.
By far, my favorite song. Donkey is in the dragon's den, and Shrek comes to rescue his mighty steed.
Yep.
And when they start to run out, it's like this almost Mission Impossible style jam. Music was a 9 out of 10. That was a good one.
I just think it's funny. I mean, if you look at DreamWorks' later film, like a Kung Fu Panda, I don't think there's a single like outside song. I think it was
all original track. Yeah.
Tracks. It's not as common in animated films. In films in general. I mean, unless you're like Fast and Furious and gotta throw some hip hop in there. But a lot of films are straying away from taking in pop songs.
We said it first. Shrek paved the way for Fast and the Furious.
With the 3 cars, we'll go first. So you already gave your rating. You gave the movie itself. You're giving an 8 out of 10 onions.
Yes,
in the
8 out of
patch.
10 onions.
8 out of 10 onions in the pack.
There
Hashtag
may or may
onion
not
team.
be a decal later.
We'll see how good my editing goes. I think I'm going to agree with you, actually. Nice. As much as I want to disagree just for the sake of an argument.
Nailed it.
There's nothing to point at wrong with Shrek. Noticing it, I mean, it is a kid's film. I was actually kind of surprised at how many scenes were strictly dialogue. It's a lot more soap opera-y than I remember. It was short enough to maintain the interest, but if it gone any longer, you'd kind of be wondering, where's the rest of the action?
Yeah.
Oh, this is another one of those onion things, isn't it?
No, this is one of those drop it and leave it alone things.
Well, why don't you want to talk about it?
Why do you want to talk about it?
Strictly based on the music, the theme message, and the relationships, what would you rate the film?
Oh, man. Okay, well, music, again, 9 out of 10.
Music's getting 9 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah. For me. Theme and message, again, the classic fairy tale trope stuff, maybe an 8.5. 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, so you're averaging an 8.7.
Yep. And relationships, I didn't even really come up with my own because I really liked your Shrek to the peoples.
Shrek to the people.
2 groups.
He's a god amongst his peers.
That's another 8.5.
8.5, so you're dragging it down to like an 8.6.
Yes, so
8.6 onions in the onion patch.
8.6 onions.
Okay, 8.6 onions. When I look at the music, kind of comparing it to how it holds up to now to what it was at 2001, I'm holding the 9 as well. The music's very on point. It's kind of timeless in its own encapsulation of what 2001 was. It could sit right next to Fast and Furious. I mean, totally.
Said it once, we'll say it again. Shrek paved the way for Fast and Furious.
Theme and message, I'm definitely rating it towards, as far as a kid's film goes, it's spot on. The thing that I have to take away from the message is Shrek is still kind of mean to everybody. And it's never addressed, like being mean isn't the problem as long as you kind of apologize once and go back to your ways. So I'm going 9. Kids will look at Shrek and they'll be like, oh, that's what friends are for. Just like, hey, you ugly, stinky man.
Onion person.
Yeah. So 9-9. Going to relationships, I actually think it does suffer the most in my ratings. I think it's because Donkey is like kind of a perfect character already. I don't really know if Donkey learns anything aside from, how to get to second base with a dragon.
Yes. Donkey learned the most important lesson of all.
Right. Okay. I would have to do relationships in a whole. I'm actually going with a 7. There's nothing inherently wrong with them, but they don't wow me, and that's kind of what a 7 is to me. Some quick maths.
You got a 7.
9, and 9 divided by 3.
Yikes.
We want the numbers, Mason. That's all we've ever wanted.
21, 15.
Boy, we're gonna cut this
8.3.
later. Let me tell you.
8.3, I hope. 8.3 onions in the onion patch.
8.3 onions.
So that's a 0.3 increase for me and a 0.6 increase for you. I'm based on our categories.
And if Shrek taught me anything, it's okay to have a swamp bod. Hashtag swamp bod.
Hashtag swamp bod.
We'll get that trending. Get that rolling.
Nice.